Is this your last chance to buy, or is it the best time to sell? The meme coin season is in full force, and you can see Pepe still standing strong with 60.4% over here on the day, and on the hourly though, it is definitely one of the biggest coins to pull back at 9.2%. So the volatility is there, and we plan on addressing that on today's show. Is it too late to get into meme coins? Stay tuned and you will find out in just under 15 minutes or so. So let's have a look at Bitcoin first and foremost. Yesterday, we were wanting to see where this candle closed. It closed okay. It didn't close as bullish as what it could have. If this 4-day candle closed green, that would be additional indication that you're probably going to have continuation to the upside. And then more than likely, you would be looking to break above the breakout level, which we had marked off at 30,496. Is it still possible? Of course, it's definitely still possible. I think the next draw on liquidity is going to be around that $32,000 level. So make sure to mark that off on your charts. Let's quickly grab this. Next draw of liquidity is going to be around that $32,000 level. That would be the next swing high target that I'd be looking at. So once you go through the breakout level, you're going to have a quick move up there, and then possibly you come to sit in the next higher low after that. Please take 1 second out of your time to quickly smash the like button. Also, drop a comment if you are present over here. I see Ali's in the house. We got Duan, Bantergirl, Noobster, Media for you. We got Whale Talk. We got John, Kaiman. We got Alex. We got Alfie and Jay Johnson. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining once again. Smash the like button, help to get the algorithm going, and then let's continue on with the show. If you look at Bitcoin price over here in the channel, so with relation to the channel, yes, it's still holding within this channel, and you can see it's being capped by the upside. So I've got two channels at work here. If it does reject from this level and it starts to fall back below the mid range of that channel, which is coming in pretty much right where we are now at $29,000, then what you want to do is put in another level over here, and you'll be looking for price to react within this zone until such time as it gets to the bottom. Now, this is typically how I trade on the low time frames. When I am trading on the low time frames, first I have a high time frame perspective like this, and then I'll kind of zoom in. So if price levels start to lose here, I know my next target is going to come somewhere along this trend line, and then I look for zones of confluence. Bottom of this diagonal trend line, which matches up with the bottom of the rising trend line, comes in at about $25,000. That number keeps coming up, guys. You can see if price were to sell off, that's really the zone that you want to be focusing on, at that $25,000 zone. If you look at liquidity, it's really, really dry out there. When you look at the People's Bank of China, absolutely nothing. And with the US, it continues to also stifle towards the downside. Looking at liquidity, though, according to High Block Capital, you can see this is on the lower time frame, so more focused on the day-to-day basis of trading, and the liquidity is actually just under $29,000. So if you do see a quick spike towards the downside into that yellow zone, $29,000 would be an opportunity to get long based off of a swing failure pattern. And you can see over here, longs are starting to stack up, so longs are starting to build up, which means the liquidity is underneath for the time being. Okay, pivot level. The daily pivot level, we're still holding strong over here. We're just above. We managed to, or yesterday we actually managed to close below the pivot level, but every day that pivot level changes. Today we're at $29,000 or $29,013 at least. That is your pivot level. As long as Bitcoin closes above there, you can expect that there will likely be that continuation to the upside, and then that would be in line with what we're looking for over here for the higher price target over the next coming days to weeks, which is going to be around that $32,000 level. Okay, total, if you look at the total market cap, still holding strong. Remember, we don't want to see prices come below the wick that was based on the last 3-day candle, which is coming in at $1.113 trillion. So as long as price holds above that level, it should be continuation to the upside for total. All right, have a look at OKX. There is a link in the description below. Make sure that you take a trade there, sign up using my link. Each trade that you take is an entry. It kind of works like a raffle. Remember, you buy a raffle ticket. The more raffle tickets you have, the more likely you are to win. Each trade that you take constitutes one of those raffle tickets, and ultimately you have the chance of winning the Tesla Model 3, which is going to be announced before the end of the 22nd of May. If you don't want the Model 3, you can take the $50,000 in cash. So it's only a benefit for you guys. All right, looking at the S&P 500 futures, still the same thing as yesterday, still very much range bound in the broader range. We identified we got the higher lows that are forming over here, and this could potentially be the next one. So that's what you want to be looking at in the short time frame. Focus on this 0.75 level. That could be a reactionary zone. That's coming in at 40.48 or 40, call it 40.50, so 4,050 on the S&P 500 futures. That is the zone that you want to see hold. This is where you would like to see your next higher low form for the next push up into the range highs, and potentially that could lead to the ultimate breakout from that zone. But we're not there yet. Stay patient. Just wait for price action to unfold. Now, something interesting as well is the VIX. If you look at the volatility index over here, it is starting to move up, which is why you do have the S&P 500 that's coming down. Keep an eye out on this. Remember, big expansions from these regions would mean that most likely the S&P 500 is going to move all the way down. And when you relate this to the prior times that we came this low, so the prior times that you came into this lower box territory between 18 and 20 was corresponded with all of these lower highs on the VIX. So there is a relationship over here. All these lower highs over here were put in whilst the VIX was at those same levels. So you don't want to see the VIX rise. If the VIX starts to rise aggressively, you can expect the S&P 500 is going to roll over. But consequently, if this rolls over and contracts back down, well, that's actually where your bull runs happen in the S&P 500. Then you can see the S&P 500 continuing on towards the upside. Okay, Bitcoin on the Super Guppy indicator chart over here using the exponential moving average ribbons. That's all the green and the blue ones, continues to remain strong. You have the same thing on Ethereum over here. Nothing has changed. It continues to be a strong trending move. Now, if you look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, it is holding above the EMAs. You got the 50 and the 200 EMA. As long as it continues to maintain that posturing, it would be a bullish indicator, right? So as long as it continues to hold above the red and the blue, and price can continue to consolidate over here, you would expect that your next move becomes a possibility, and then you can move up towards that drawn liquidity at $32,000. Then we reevaluate from there to see, is it going to be a short all the way back down to the bottom of the range, or are you starting a new trending move? So that's what I'll be watching over there. Remember, there is a lot of stops that have been built up over here by these shorts, and eventually those are going to get taken out. All right, moving on to the memes. So the memes are in full force. I know that most of my audience may not be too into the memes, but if there's a trade opportunity that's out there, then why not take it? The volatility is high, and that's all that it is. You're just treating it as a vehicle towards volatility, which means that obviously you can make some money off of that volatility. So having a look over here, all you need to do is go onto CoinGecko. Under categories, you can click on that categories button over there. You'll see a whole list over here. Number 7 is memes. Click on memes. You'll be able to see all the potential meme coins at play. They are arranged by market cap. So market cap, the biggest is going to be Doge at, if you look at this, is going just under $11 billion. And then you got Shiba Inu, which is just under $6 billion. And then have a look at that. Here's Pepe at $802 billion market cap. So the question is, let me know in the comments, is Pepe going to break above the $1 billion market cap? And once it does, what do you think happens next? Do you think that trend continues? I think that it's a possibility that it starts to close the gap closer towards Shiba Inu, because what will happen is a lot of these market participants which are in Dogecoin and Shiba, you can see their 7-day gains at negative 1.8% on Doge. Shiba Inu's negative 3.2%. These guys are going to have a risk appetite, and they're going to start to look to rotate into some of these other meme coins, and consequently those memes will start to rally. Look at 𝗕𝗏𝗃, also one of the big ones. It's lost so much market share. It's down negative 12%. Big one standing out here, you got Wojak or Wojak, I don't know how you pronounce that, at a massive 1,127% gain for the week. So is it too late to enter into these? Well, the answer is, of course, you're taking on an astronomical amount of risk if you do go into these coins right now, because you have to ask yourself, according to the Wall Street cheat sheet or the psychology of a market participant, where are you within the cycle? And if you have a look at this, of course, you got the smart money, institutional investors, public, and you're going through these phases, right? So are you in the media attention phase? Well, if I look at Crypto Twitter, 100% Crypto Twitter, right? Twitter is a media organization, and most of my trends on the right-hand side by hashtags are multiple different types of meme coins. So we can definitely tick off and say that we're in the media attention phase. Are we in the enthusiasm phase? I would say definitely. Are we in the greed phase? I would say definitely, which means that we are somewhere within this region over here, delusion or a new paradigm, where they start to say, this is a new paradigm. You don't understand, guys, what Pepe can do. Pepe is a blockchain. Pepe is going to displace Ethereum. This is the way the world goes. The more crazy the idea, the more likely it is to be a possibility. That's something that Elon Musk says. Those might start to be the things that you'll hear. And the whole flippening. Is Pepe going to flip in Shiba? Is it going to eventually flip in Doge or flip above its market cap? Once you start to hear that, you know you're in this delusional new paradigm phase. And then obviously that's where you get the blow off top. You get the complacency bounce, and that is going to be the biggest short opportunity ever, because these coins are probably going to go straight back down to zero over time. So where are you? Are you on Pepe? I would say definitely somewhere around these regions. The other coins, though, not so much. There may still be a play there and a rotational game taking place, whereby you could be in this first sell-off bear trap media attention phase somewhere around this region. Let me know in the comments, are you guys longing any of these coins? I see there Bantergirl saying Pepe is the new Bitcoin. I know she's joking. I know Bantergirl, she's just kidding over there, but that is exactly what it's going to be like. And if I have a look over here, already it's starting to break the trend that it was holding. Here's Pepe on the 15-minute chart. It is starting to break that trend. Yes, 15-minute chart is very low time frame, so of course it can break this down, go much lower, reaccumulate, and then go for another leg up. That is a possibility. Your job as a trader is to wait for it to prove to you that it's turning a corner. So if you do see it come down like that and then start to form a new accumulation phase, something like that, then you can start to time your entries, right? Put your stop below and immediately you go long for the next leg up. Call this the next higher low phase. You're looking to buy the next higher low phase. That is not yet there, but there are some levels that I've marked off. So this was the channel that I was trading it on. I made some really, really great gains on Pepe. I didn't post about it because it's such high risk, guys. This was gambling money. I'm just playing around, same money that I would use going to a casino, just a couple of $100, and that's it. Nothing too serious. But here you have it. This is what I was watching. This is the parallel channel that it had been holding. So it was holding this. I think I entered the position yesterday, and now you can see a big warning sign, right? Pepe is starting to break that down. This is on the 5-minute chart though. So what do you do next? Well, you look at your next level or your next trend. You can pretty much you have 2 touch points. Let's quickly make it a little bit closer for you. So you have 2 areas of interest, 2 touch points. We can take it from this week to this week and pretty much pull that towards the downside. Now we need to wait and be patient, watch to see if this does bounce back up and price moves towards this region over here. You can see the red line from the volume. This is the point of control. So your point of control matches up exactly where that trend line would be. It also matches up somewhat towards the midline, the purple level, which is the middle of the previous rising channel. So you have a level to work with over here. I'm not even going to read the number out. It doesn't matter. I'll read the last digits, 22074. You can see it's a long number for Pepe, but ultimately then you have something to work with. If you see it starting to reject from this level, immediately you enter into a short position. You can put your stop loss above there, hold that position, see if this channel breaks down, because maybe that could already be that complacency phase. I'm not willing to call that. I think that these things can really, really get going, especially over a weekend is a real possibility where the market is very illiquid, not that many people trading. Retail traders are at home. They have a major risk appetite and they log on and have time to maybe buy some Pepe. Then you could start to see this get going again. So that's what I'm watching over there. Let's quickly have a look over here at a couple of the other potential coins. So you have a DEX board over here, which is showing the hot pairs. Now, this is very, very interesting. If you go to DEXTools.io, this is where you'll trade all these newer coins which have only just recently launched, right? So you got the hot pairs over here. Some of them that are interesting to me is going to be Peepo, this one over here, Peepo. I like Mong. Mong is BitLord's coin. I know that he did a lot of work to try and get that launched. We got the Wojak, and then obviously we got Pepe. So let's go over here to the top. Let's go to Pair Explorer. I've marked some of these off. Bob was another one that I was looking at, and you can kind of mark out the levels. Now, a lot of them are very, very new. Look at the price history over here. If there's just a rotational play from Pepe, which has obviously a huge market cap, as well as the Shiba Inu and Doge players who are looking for that risk appetite, and that flows into these coins, it won't take much to get them really moving. So all you need to do is mark off level to level. I recommend just focus on the strong horizontals. You can very clearly see if price comes back below the zone, draw your horizontal from that area to that area. Again, reading out these numbers, I'll just read out the last 4 digits. If it comes below 3961, then you can say most likely this is going to be full on distribution. Let's change the color for you. Then you're going to have full on distribution to the downside. But otherwise, if it holds above that level, you could potentially see your next higher low form, and then you're going to continue that trend upwards with a higher high. What about Wojak or Wojak, however you say this? Looks very, very similar. Same thing. You're looking for this region to hold. I'm only going to read you the lower part. I wouldn't want to see any closes below 4971. So it's 0.0004971. No closes below there. Can it wick into that level and still be okay? Yes, it can. That would be an area where I would look to bid. If this does come down and grab some liquidity in that box, I would look to go long off of that level. Okay, Peepo. Peepo has absolutely flown, guys. I would wait for a bigger cool off on this one. It's really, really rallied. I'd wait for it to come into the purple box. Where's the purple box? Again, it's got a lot of zeros, so just the last numbers. 8601. So somewhere around that particular region. Okay, WSB. Wall Street bets over here, Wall Street bets, you can see it forming a range. I would say out of all of these charts, this is probably one of the uglier charts that I may rather leave, because it's already looking like it may just be a pump and dump. Look at the big move up, straight massive move down. I would say if it can hold sideways for a couple of days over here and manages to hold this purple area, potentially I would look to gain some exposure. But overall, there's better looking ones. What about Mong? So Mongoose over here, I don't know if you guys remember, Mongoose came about when one of those senators announced it. I would say that I would be looking at this area as the potential accumulation zone. So this zone over here, that wick that came in, the prior wick low, which is 7834. I wouldn't want to see price come below that 7834 level again. If it does, probably going to distribute. Maybe you get another buy order in at this 4195. If you go below that, then massive rug. It's going much lower. These are very, very dangerous, guys, to play with. These are obviously gambles, right? Someone says, what about Chad? I think Chad has already run quite heavily, so it's done very, very well. I'm trying to pick out the ones for you guys that may be somewhere around here, right? In the takeoff phase, stealth phase, not too many people know about it. It's still pretty low market cap. That's the reason why I'm looking at these. So have a look at this video over here. This is essentially how these meme coins find their genesis, how their inception, and how they're born into the market. This is literally how Mongoose coin came about.
Now, the #1 threat to cryptocurrency is crypto. Bitcoin could be displaced by Ether, which could be displaced by Doge, which could be displaced by Hamster coin. And then there's Cobra coin. What could Mongoose coin do to crypto coin? In the area of fiat currency, the dollar will always be more important than the Uruguayan peso, and the Uruguayan peso is not a joke. There will always be an Uruguay, and the Uruguayan peso will always have some value. Will Mongoose coin always have a value? I don't know. I just made it up. It's a joke.
So that is literally how it came about. That's how Mongoose Coin was born. And here it is. I mean, we're waiting for the next cycle now to see what happens. Is this trend going to continue? Let me know in the comments. Are you guys going to be buying, or have you already been buying? I'd love to know. And if so, what have you been purchasing? Which meme coins are you buying? I can't emphasize enough. Control your risk management, right? Treat it as the same way that you would on a normal trade. If you were to be stopped out on that trade and you could afford to lose 1% or 2% on the trade, that's kind of the way that I would treat it. I'm using a very, very minuscule. I actually went with 0.125% of my portfolio as, call it, a stop loss. That's the position size that I took on some of these altcoins. So be very, very careful out there. It's just for the fun of it. Now, looking at Bitcoin, you can see there's kind of a few liquidity levels I've outlined over here. So if you take the high block capital liquidation zones and you overlay that on the chart, these are the levels that are yet to be tagged. Now, remember what I said yesterday, when you're in a period with low volume in the market and there's not that much liquidity, price will always gravitate towards wherever the most liquidity is, because players want to capture those moves, right? So your liquidity zones, you're looking at untapped levels. You have around this $30,500 level is one zone, and then on the lower end you have 27,200. So on the very low time frame, this is a 2-hour chart. Expect that price is most likely going to oscillate and operate within this range. I thought that the Fed meeting was going to result in us breaking out of this range, but it looks like not yet. We continue to remain within the zone. So expect when price comes up, if you capture the liquidity to the upside, look on a low time frame, and then expect that it's probably going to draw straight back to the other end right after that. I think that about sums it up, guys. Make sure that you join the trading competition as well. Sign up using my ByBit link below. You do get up to a $𝗕𝗚𝗕𝗧𝗏 sign up bonus, of course, dependent on how much you deposit. And then also make sure you use that account to join the competition. Deposit $250, just a small amount of money. Click on the sign up link over here to the competition. When you go through to that trading page, join, you can win a Tesla, a Rolex, or $10,000 in cash. And it's not that hard. All you need to do is go on a low leverage trade onto some of these meme coins and let it run. That's pretty much what I've done. And so far, so good. It's working out pretty well. So that's it from me, folks. I will see you all on the next video. Have an absolutely safe and stellar weekend, and cheers for now.